Dusk painted the mountains in hues of purple and blood orange, casting an eerie glow over the landscape. As I pulled up to the Stanley Hotel, the sky seemed to deepen in color, almost as if it were welcoming me into its mysterious embrace. Imposing, grand, a Victorian mansion frozen in time, its towering structure loomed over me, casting long shadows that seemed to whisper ancient tales. A shiver snaked down my spine, a thrill of anticipation mixed with primal fear, the kind of fear that makes your heart race and your senses heighten. This place breathed history, whispered secrets. Every creak of the floorboards, every flicker of the candlelight seemed to tell a story of its own. I, foolishly brave, was eager to listen. My curiosity overpowered my fear, driving me to uncover the mysteries that lay within these walls. The air grew thin as I stepped inside, the lobby hushed and heavy with the scent of aged wood and something faintly floral, like a funeral parlor. It was as if the very air was steeped in the essence of the past. A chill clung to me, despite the roaring fire in the hearth. The warmth of the flames did little to dispel the cold that seemed to seep from the very walls. The old-fashioned elevator groaned its way up to the second floor, each creak echoing the growing unease in my gut. It felt like the building itself was alive, aware of my presence. Room 217 awaited. The number seemed to glow ominously, as if it held a secret that was eager to be revealed. The brass key felt ice-cold in my hand, a tangible connection to the countless souls who'd stood in this very spot. It was a relic of the past, heavy with the weight of history. As the lock clicked open, a gust of frigid air slammed against my face. A warning perhaps, or a greeting from the unknown. I stepped inside, the heavy door thudding shut behind me. The room was cloaked in darkness, the air thick with an unspoken tension. I was now part of the hotel's story. The air in room 217 was stagnant, thick with the weight of unseen history. It felt as though the walls themselves were whispering secrets of the past, stories long forgotten but still lingering in the atmosphere. Dust motes danced in the weak light filtering through the heavy drapes, creating an almost ethereal glow that contrasted sharply with the room's oppressive darkness. The furniture, dark wood and velvet, seemed to absorb the meager light, leaving the corners shrouded in an unsettling gloom. Each piece looked like it had a story to tell, tales of guests who had come and gone, leaving behind only shadows. I placed my bag on the luggage rack, its familiar weight oddly reassuring. It was a small comfort in a room that felt so foreign and eerie. A chill wind whispered through the room, though the windows were bolted shut. It was as if the room itself was breathing, exhaling a cold, ghostly breath. I crossed to the heavy drapes, pulling them open with a sharp tug. The fabric resisted as if reluctant to reveal what lay beyond. The last rays of the setting sun painted the mountains a fiery red, a stark contrast to the icy grip of the room. The vibrant colors outside seemed almost mocking, a reminder of the warmth and life that existed just beyond the walls. The view did little to ease the growing sense of unease. Instead, it heightened the contrast between the world outside and the oppressive atmosphere within. The bathroom door stood ajar, a black rectangle in the gathering gloom. It beckoned ominously, a portal to even deeper shadows. I flicked on the light, the bulb buzzing before sputtering to life. Its weak glow did little to dispel the darkness, casting eerie, flickering shadows on the walls. The porcelain fixtures, once gleaming white, were now stained a sickly yellow. They seemed to tell a story of neglect and decay, a stark reminder of the room's age. The air hung heavy with the scent of dampness and decay. It was a smell that seemed to cling to everything, a constant reminder of the room's long, slow decline. I quickly retreated, a shiver crawling up my spine. The room seemed to close in around me, its shadows growing longer and more menacing with each passing moment. Nightfall brought no comfort. The wind howled outside, a mournful cry that seemed to echo my own growing unease. I tried to read, to distract myself, but the words swam before my eyes. Every creak of the floorboards, every groan of the old building, sent a jolt of fear through me. I wasn't alone. The feeling settled upon me slowly, a certainty that burrowed deep under my skin. A presence, unseen but felt, lurking in the shadows. A soft whisper, my name, or perhaps just the wind playing tricks. I strained to hear, heart pounding against my ribs. The silence that followed was more unnerving than any sound. I lay in the darkness, eyes wide open, every nerve on high alert. The air grew thick, suffocating, pressing down on me with an unseen weight. Sleep, once a welcome escape, now seemed an impossible dream. Hours crawled by, each one an eternity. The digital clock on my phone blinked 3 a.m., the witching hour. A sudden gust of wind rattled the windows, the sound like skeletal fingers scraping against glass. Then, the lights began to flicker. Slow at first, hesitant, then a frantic dance of light and shadow. The room pulsed with an unnatural energy, a living, breathing entity. My heart hammered in my chest, a frantic drumbeat against the growing chaos. The air crackled with static, raising goosebumps on my arms. A low hum vibrated through the air, growing in intensity until it filled my ears, my skull. I pressed my hands against my ears, a futile attempt to block out the overwhelming sound. Fear, raw and primal, washed over me, leaving me gasping for breath in the oppressive darkness. The shadows came alive. No longer still and silent, they writhed and pulsed with the rhythm of the humming. They stretched and contorted, taking on grotesque shapes that danced at the edge of my vision. Faces twisted in silent screams, reached out from the darkness, their touch a whisper of ice on my skin. I squeezed my eyes shut, but the images only intensified behind my eyelids. A whirlwind of shadows and whispers, a symphony of terror conducted by an unseen force. The humming reached a fever pitch, a deafening roar that vibrated through my very bones. Then, as quickly as it began, the chaos ceased. Silence descended, heavy and absolute. The humming faded to a distant echo. Tentatively, I opened my eyes. The room was still, the shadows returned to their silent vigil. Only the faint scent of ozone lingered, a testament to the terror that had just unfolded. Exhaustion, both physical and mental, threatened to overwhelm me. The digital clock blinked 3:15 a.m., just 15 minutes, yet it felt like a lifetime ago. I stumbled towards the bathroom, desperate for a glass of water, for a semblance of normalcy. As I splashed water on my face, I caught my reflection in the mirror. My heart stuttered in my chest. Staring back at me wasn't my own terrified reflection, but the face of a woman, pale, gaunt, with eyes that burned with a cold, hungry light. She smiled, a slow, predatory stretching of lips that sent shivers down my spine. I whirled around, but the bathroom was empty. Heart pounding against my ribs like a trapped bird, I slowly turned back to the mirror. My reflection stared back, tired and scared, but undeniably human. Had I imagined it? A trick of the light? A figment of my exhausted mind? I fled room 217, stumbling down the hallway, my heart pounding in my chest like a drum. Desperate to escape the suffocating grip of the hotel, I could feel the walls closing in on me. The elevator was agonizingly slow, each second an eternity. I pressed the button repeatedly, willing it to move faster. The lobby, once grand and imposing, now felt cold and menacing, shadows lurking in every corner. The chandeliers that once sparkled now seemed to cast a sinister glow, adding to the eerie atmosphere. I ran through the heavy doors, feeling the weight of the hotel's presence lift slightly as I stepped outside, into the blessedly cool night air. As I drove away, my hands shaking on the steering wheel, the first rays of dawn painting the sky a pale pink, I felt a fleeting sense of relief. I glanced back at the Stanley Hotel, its silhouette stark against the morning light. Silhouetted against the rising sun, it stood proud and defiant, a monolith of secrets and untold stories. It stood there, almost mocking my escape, as if it knew I would never truly be free. And in the window of room 217, a faint light flickered. I could have sworn I saw her again. The woman from the mirror, her eyes following me. The woman from the mirror watching me go, her presence a constant reminder. The hotel, I realized with a chilling certainty, didn't just whisper secrets, it collected them, trapped within its walls, along with the countless souls who had checked in but never truly left. Their whispers echoed in my mind, and I, forever bound to room 217, felt their presence, their stories intertwining with mine. I would be forced to listen to their whispers for all eternity, forever a guest in that haunted place.